All right, it is July 2nd, and we are super, super proud of all of the people who have just earned in our One Sweet Summer incentive. So I asked if many of you guys could have your cameras on just for the beginning part of this, because I can't possibly shout every single person's name out, but there was a lot of tier one earners who earned the $250. So shake your hands, wave your hands if you were a tier one earner. Tier one. Awesome. Congratulations, everybody. So super exciting. And then I know some of you were super, super close to tier two. I know Jody and Randy were like at 8. We had a couple people that Sarah, I think, was at 8. Doug was at 7. So several of you that were super, super close. So Katie too. Well, hey, this is the thing. At least you got tier one, and there's a brand new incentive. I can't believe they're doing back-to-back incentives like this. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm super fired up for that luggage. I've had a few people message me, oh my gosh, they're so excited about the luggage. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. So what I did do is I asked a few of the people that earned the tier 2 to maybe share tonight. And this is going to be open. So if some of you that maybe didn't earn tier 2, but still had a really great experience, if we've got time, I want to hear from you guys too. So if I don't call on you at the end, I really want you to unmute and share if you've got some good shares that might help the rest of the team that really wants to capitalize on this incentive for July. So let me see. Do I have Tara? Are you on? Because I would like to start with Tara. She is so detail oriented and always catches the all the details that I miss. And she already put together for you guys a new form. It's in ISA for Wealth, a tracking form. She usually does a tracking form whenever there's an incentive. I see her, so she's there. So before I have her share, Tara is one of those people that is highly incentive driven. You dangle the carrot in front of her, and by gosh, before midnight, she is going to crush her goal. So I love that. And you know, not everybody is incentive driven. Some of us are. I'm like that too. I love to earn prizes, and I'm very incentive driven. And I know that's not everyone's love language per se, but for those of you that are driven and you really, really want to earn this July incentive, that's why we're doing this call. I want to congratulate all of our earners, and I want you guys to hear tips from them on how they did it. Okay, so Tara, if you would please share the details on the incentive to get people fired up, and congratulations to you.
Thank you. Okay, so, and I kind of, on the tracking
I can't hear these people.
What was that?
Someone's unmuted. Let me try to find who it is.
Yeah, Janine.
You guys can all mute for some reason I can't mute her. Okay.
She's muted now.
Guys, if you see someone, maybe private message them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this seems totally doable. I think really for anyone. I'm actually surprised they're giving away this for really not a crazy, a crazy requirement. So basically, when you help 3 people to get started to get healthier in July, so it's July 2nd through the 29th, as it says on the tracker. So 3 people, and you're going to get a $150 product coupon to use. Okay, it will be put in your back office about 5 days or so after you earn it, and it must be used within 30 days. Okay, then when you get to 5, so that's not an additional 5. It's important to note that it's only 2 more, so that's why I put it in the second column here. And I know they're too faded, but I did put Isa Delights back there. That was these sweet summer, these sweeter with friends. Okay, so when you have 2 more, then they're also going to give you $250 in cash. So it is important to note that you will earn prizes they're cumulative. It's not like, okay, if you get the cash, you don't get the product coupon. Everything builds. So that's just 2 more. And then 3 more after that. So when you have a total of 8, you're going to get this totally cool carry-on with the built-in charger, because I know all the time I'm at the airport, and your sites when you're at the airports that have those ports with the things, but then you invariably run into the airports that don't, and they also have no outlets anywhere either. So it's so when you have this, when you have 8, so it's really a win-win because you have at least 8 people getting healthy. You've healthier or healthy. You've just got $150 in product coupon, $250 in cash, and the carry-on with the built-in charger. Also, so as I said, July 2nd to the 29th, and depending on when you earn the cash, like it's not going to wait till all of July is over. So if you get to 5, I think like mid-month, they'll be paying you out earlier. Okay, so it's not like everybody's going to wait till the first pay in August to get from here. So the goal is, not only to bring people, do it early in the month, front load the month, help 8 people, and then realize that they can help 8 people as well. So
isn't there an early deadline? If we get the 8 by such and such a date, the luggage will come early and you can take it with us.
So I was just looking at it here.
I want to say that.
Okay. So I'll have to put my glasses on here. All right. If you enroll 8 or more by July 15th, so 2 weeks into the month, you will get the luggage. For those of you who are going to Celebration, which y'all should be in Nashville, okay? So those who do it by July 15th will have that luggage in time for the trip. Okay, so we're leaving on the 4th or the 4th, 3rd, 4th, whenever people are leaving.
Awesome.
So that's pretty cool. Coupled with the fact that, like I said, this is cool stuff, and it's not even, we want everybody to go to Celebration, but this is not like a Celebration contingent prize. So who wouldn't want to come on board and then can be helping a few other people, so they're going to get PIBs, double PIBs, they could get, they're going to get, they could, promote a consultant by at least enrolling 2, and $150 product coupon, and be set up for that cash and everything. So I think this is
so awesome.
Sweet.
So awesome. And I'm going to have you share in a little bit. I know I've only got Lori Olson for a couple minutes, so I'm going to ask her to unmute you. And while she's unmuting, I want to shout out everyone that earned it and congratulate everyone. So we have, of course, Tara earned it, and Lori Olson earned it. We have Dr. Erin. She is a chiropractor in Connecticut. She's supposed to be on tonight on the phone. She's on vacation, so hopefully we'll get to hear from her. Locally, I have Jackie Proctor who earned it. And then I have this brand new girl I have never even met that earned it, and I've been messaging with her today, and her name is Crystal Reilly, I think is how you pronounce her last name. Anne Baranti earned it, along with 2 of her team members that I've never met, Quinn and Tanya. Stephanie Mione earned it. My son Tyler, his girlfriend Zoe earned it. So there were a lot of you guys that earned this top tier, and so many that were so close, and so many that earned the first tier. So thrilled for all of you. Lori, are you able to unmute? Hi, there you are. Hey, I would love for you to share. And what is so exciting about Lori, and then also Lisa Maciel, I'm going to ask her next, is these are top leaders on our team. And they make good income, and quite honestly, they don't need to be enrolling at that rate, and they still do. And I think it's such a great example that they set for their team, and it just makes me ooze even more with pride that they are able to do that. So Lori, how are you able to do that still?
Well, I do have to shout out, there's a girl in my 3PET, Jennifer Gustafson, that's very new, that earned it as well. So yay, Jennifer. She earned tier 2, yes.
Okay,
I will ask her. She's under Karen. She's Dawn, Karen, and then this Jennifer. So Jennifer's awesome. Everyone's awesome. I do have to say that I know, last year they had this similar incentive, and I didn't earn it. So, and I know that there are, top leaders on my team that felt like they really pushed it and really didn't even hit the 5, and that's hard on them because they're trying to set an example for their team too. And I know that a lot of people put in tons of effort, and I will be honest and say a lot of it sometimes just comes down to the timing for people, but that being said, I did have some people that I think they expected, all of a sudden they amped up their efforts and expected to hit more than they did. And long story short, it comes down to 4 years of relentless consistency. And when the timing is right for people. So for example, 2 people came back that were terminated. So there's 2 that is because I've stuck around, basically. And then I also had some that I was telling my husband, I'm like, this is so weird that it's happening now when I feel like I need it. And he goes, I don't know why you think it's weird. I see that you're putting in all these extra efforts. And I said, yeah, I don't know. It's something about, it's just you guys really focus on what you put out and how authentic and genuine you are, and that you don't just talk about sales all the time, because that's not what attracts people to Isagenix and to you. It's really more about them seeing you're a real person, and that you care about your team, and that you care about people's results, and that you just have a real personality underneath all of the other stuff. Because another thing that I think would be encouraging to people is 2 of the people that joined me are were 2 people that were in my husband and I's wedding. So clearly they're our best friends. And it's been 4 years. And they just came on board, ironically, during this incentive. So, and a lot of them weren't the people that are, we all have our list that we're following up. And it wasn't those people. But they are people that I totally love. And so I have always loved on them wherever they are at. And I am intentional about, I know it gets busy that I can't even look through Facebook, but I have my sweet spot people. And I definitely just take time to be connected to their life and care about them while I offer what I have. And to me, that's what's just like the law of attraction type thing. So I definitely messaged a gazillion people though, you guys. I was down to 8. So I was down to 8 without scrambling. And then Lisa and I were both at 8 last night. And I said, can I enroll Daisy? That's my dog. And then I hit 10, sent even more messages and dug deeper. You have your regular list. I dug deeper into people who I haven't heard from forever that had a remote interest at one point. One of them came out, and I talked to her my first fall. So for 3.75 years ago is when we had a conversation, and she enrolled. Then I needed one more, even as of 8 p.m. last night. And I texted my dad saying, can I sign you up? I have one more for an incentive that I need to get. And I think is the timing right for you. And so I got him started, and he's needed it for a long time.
Wow.
And said, yes, I need to do something anyway. So, it's always hard when you feel like your family hasn't come around, but I think it goes to show sometimes you have to go straight to them and say, are you ready? I'm ready to help you. So that's my story.
On his call last week when we interviewed him, he still has family that all these years later, all of his tremendous success that still aren't using the product. So that you did that 4 years later is tremendous. Great tips. I hope you guys.
But he said, Sydney, not even that some, he said none of his family.
None. I know. I keep reminding my husband that over and over and over again. Awesome shares. Thank you so much, Lori. I know you've got something else going on, but please remind me. I want to get Jennifer added to the poster and congratulate her. I was afraid we might miss someone. That's why when I posted that, I said, guys, if you've been missed, it's totally because this was done manually. I did not get a report. I actually was just sent a huge report of my region, but it's just my region. So I don't want to miss anyone. So sorry about that, Jennifer. We congratulate you. That is huge and awesome. All right, Lisa, are you able to unmute next? I want Lisa to share also because, again, top leader on our team, and here she is. And she not only did her 10 enrollments, she had 14 enrollments and 12 that counted. So that is just absolutely huge. And here she is. She's been with me for, 5.5 years now, Lisa?
Yeah, and Bobby's in the background. He basically gets credit for one.
Yay, Bobby!
So it's funny, Lori was saying how we were messaging back and forth about, how many we each have left. We were probably going back and forth. We were like pretty much, tied and even. And then I went to bed. I had a splitting headache just because it was a long, crazy day. And, you get a text when you're first line, through Isopulse when someone enrolls. And so I went downstairs because I was going to take some aspirin, and my phone had that text. I'm like, who's texting at 11:30 at night? And it was a notification that someone had enrolled in my downline. So I looked to see, and it was Lori. That I was like, oh, so nothing like waiting till, some things happen at the last minute. Like Tara said, we like to front load our month, but when it comes down to timing. So so like Cindy said, I did have 14 total enrollments, but 2 of them were under 150 BVs, so they didn't count. And a couple were cushioned because one actually enrolled on my one of my business center, my personal business center. So we have my husband's, that's kind of our joint one in our first business center, and then we have our reentry. But then I have my individual one from our first business center, and this girl enrolled without really telling me she was going to do that. And so we had to kind of move her last minute, but I was really nervous it wasn't going to count. So I kind of went for a cushion. So, but just to back up what got me really motivated, I try to go for every incentive. I mean, early on when we first got started, we were enrolling 5 a month, 10 a month. We were getting free 2 boxes of vitamins every month for at least 6 months maybe. And then yes, it did slow down a bit, but my goal has always been to try to enroll 5 whenever possible. And not that I'm not trying to do that, honestly, it comes down to timing. So I'm also incentive driven, but I honestly will say this incentive, it wasn't until, and I made some notes here, till Kathy Coover got on our team call back on June 11th. Cindy had her on, and it was an amazing call. She honestly got me fired up on that call. I've heard her, it wasn't the first time I've heard her. I've heard her say those same things at multiple conferences, but I don't know what it was about that night that just really struck a chord with me. And so I'm just looking up at my chart here. So when she had that call on June 11th, I had 1. Am I frozen? I had 1 enrollment, and so I kind of, pushed forward. I made every effort to kind of reach out, and I said, well, I'm going for 5 and we'll see if 10 happens. And so out of the 12 that qualified, 4 happened yesterday, by the way. Actually I enrolled 7 this past week. So 5 of those 7, it was while my husband and I were on vacation. So we were away Friday, Saturday. I take enrollment forms wherever I go. And so I knew it was going to be a matter of, if it was on the phone, I'd have to take a break and do what I had to do. But 3 of the 12 were referrals from other people. And I'll explain what I did to get those referrals. 4 were terminated customers. I think Lori said she had some terminated ones as well that decided to come back. 2 were specifically related to a couple posts that I could definitely pinpoint. And then 3 were just kind of constant dripping over the years. So one of those 3 people, those that we were constantly dripping over, was my dental hygienist, that I knew I get a text every, obviously 6 months, when your appointment is coming. And I was due to have an appointment this past Monday. And I said, you know what? She reached out back in December. She was interested, but was going through medical issues. So I knew my appointment was coming up. I sent her a message. I said, hey, Val, I know the timing wasn't right for you last December, but I wanted to let you know that, and some people, they fall through our cracks, but that text just kind of reminded me that, oh, she was a lead. And, so I followed up, and sure enough, she actually came to my smoothie party. She enrolled shortly after my appointment, actually. So that was someone I'd been dripping on over the years, going in for my appointments, always wear an Isogenic shirt, always, hands down, and talking about it. And then the other one, another one was a friend of my brother, actually a relative of my brother's in-laws, essentially, dripping over the years. And then another one was really Bobby's, that he was dripping over him. He's his dental supply guy that comes in every now and then. And so he came in during the week, and there was Michelle, Gavin, Bobby, and I all in his lab, and we pretty much did everything but lock the door, really. But no, he finally decided to try it. So it was a mixture of how those things happened. So for the referrals, what I did, I can't take the credit for this, even though we've heard this idea before, and I think she probably got the idea from someone else, but Erin Gray was on a corporate call back on June 19th for the 3-star and above call. That corporate has a monthly call, and you have to qualify to be on that call. And she shared, I was inspired by her, because I was like, holy smoke. She enrolled, I think these numbers are right, at the time, this was as of June 19th, 34 people by June 19th, okay? The kicker is, not one person did she pick up the phone with. She didn't talk to anyone. It was all through Instagram. I was just blown away, because we were always told you have to pick up the phone, you have to set that appointment, get the conversation off Facebook. Times are changing, and that's what I have to wrap my head around, that it's, yes, I've built my business, I'd say 95% on Facebook and social media. I have an Instagram account. I've posted 2 pictures in the last 5 years. So that is one of the things I'm going to learn. So I was inspired by her. And so she shared this on the call that I wrote down, and I then shared, and it actually helped with 3 of my referrals. She said something, and I can share this after on the page if you can't write this down, because I talk quick, and I know Cindy has other people she wants to get to, but I basically shared with several people, a bunch of people actually, I'm about to kick off a 30-day challenge. This may or may not be for you, but do you know anyone looking to lose 5 to 15 pounds? That's it. So 3 of my referrals were from people that it wasn't for them, but they mentioned it to other people. And so those were 3 of my referrals, actually.
Wait, Lisa, was that an Instagram post?
No.
Was it Facebook?
It was Facebook for me, but for her, she messaged people through Instagram, I think. She put
a picture too, I'm assuming. Did you put a picture as well?
What?
It was a picture as well. You didn't just put the verbiage, did you?
So I about to kick off a 30-day. No, that was a private message. That was my referral asking for a private message. But I did on a separate post. This was one of them that attracted actually got a lot of feedback. I went and searched for like an amazing 30-day transformation, basically. I shared it last week, actually. And I found one that I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I posted that picture, and I had a little blurb with it. But within that blurb, this was on my page versus me messaging asking for referrals. That one said, basically, is anyone looking to lose 5 to 15 pounds? That was basically it. and I got people that either I said private message me or respond here interested. So that message, and then the combination of asking for referrals really helped out. And then I got 4 terminated customers came back. I just reached out to several people that I know that tried it in the past and had great success. And so I reached out to them and I said something like, I know it's been a while since you ordered, but I remember you had great success at the time. I would love to welcome you back with 2 great specials that we have this week that could save you up to $80 by this Sunday. Are you interested? That was it. And granted, I know we don't have specials going on right now, but you don't have to, you know what, honestly, I don't think really the specials are what push people over. If they're ready, they're ready. If they're not ready to wrap their head around a savings and can't do it, I don't think it's the savings that really did it for some people, but they just have, honestly, it comes down to timing, because we can't force someone to be ready, because that's just going to mean they're going to return their products if they're not ready. That's what it comes down to. So those were some of my, and then, actually, what was the other one? I talked about timing. Family, yeah, I can chime in. I think, let's see, my brother enrolled in March, so 5.5 years later, I will say that. So, and then the close. I became a little, I guess, lackadaisical about the actually closing. So presenting all the packs, and I was getting lazy with sharing the ultimate pack, but I got back on track with the scripting with a combination of kind of PK and Zach and Eden Slobin, talking with starting with the ultimate pack like he does, going down, because when you get to that value pack and saying it's almost a 50% savings, I think that's big for people. And Then at the end, the whole closing, do you have enough information to get started? Was a couple key phrases I would say. And then I'd also say, who are 2 people that would love to do this with you? To already get them thinking about who they want. I created 3 consultants along the way too this month, 2 of which were 2 of the 14 basically. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to select your pack? And that kind of opens the door for any objections they may have and may address, because, you present the information and then it's like, okay. And then like, great, I'll look it over and I'll get back to you. Well, you don't want to get to that point. You want to close that night. You want to ask that closing question. And so many of us don't do that. And I know I've been guilty in the past of not being consistent with doing that, but I, made sure I was doing that this week. So especially this week, because I basically waited till, all my enrollments basically came most of the later part of this week.
Which I think is super exciting for people that think there's not enough time to do an incentive. Like, I truly believe you can do that. And even on the call last week with Jay Bennett, he's like, well, if they've got 4 or 5 people, then I can encourage them. I'm like, look what you
I know. I heard him say, if you have 2 or 3, maybe they'll go for the first level. And I'm thinking, geez, well, I enrolled 7. But I mean, granted, yes, it was a great week. That doesn't always happen like that. But it can happen because, things can happen out of the blue. One of them was actually my a person that ran on that's in my running club, and she reached out earlier in the month when the incentive was going on, and she basically said, no, it's too expensive for me, I can't do it, and can I just order a couple shakes? And I was very blunt with her. After she shared her goals, I said, you can order a couple shakes, but that's not going to help you reach your goals the way you want. So she reached out on she was one of them yesterday and said, is your special over with? I think I'm going to do it now. So you never know.
You're getting a lot of requests in the chat to post your notes. Lisa this is one of her giftings, is she really likes to be prepared for calls, for meetings, for training. So she was like messaging me, I'm ready to go. I can even go first. So I knew she had prepared notes for you guys. So if you can take a picture of it, Lisa.
A shout out to Tara too. This is her thing that I have, by the way, that blue. I know some people saying, oh, why is that blue? I'm so anal, it has to be yellow. The blue is for my first business center because they combined the 2 business centers. So one enrollment was from my first. And then I created a couple extra because I went above, because Tara didn't give me enough circles. But I have her February Frenzy one hanging up that I use all of those trackers. I took it with me over the weekend. They come with me. I'm a visual person. I even have this because I'm going for executive in my reentry. And so stickies, tools, I love that people that's Tara's gift. It's not mine. It will take me forever to create that. So please do it for me, and then I'll just print it out. So yeah.
And that's why we have such an amazing team, because we have leaders that have all different giftings. None of us are the same, and we are also abundant and share. And another thing, someone posted, the Camp Fit post that brought a lot of great interest too. So yes, you guys, if you're not already promoting that, for sure, that can help with getting some interest too. All right, Lisa, thank you so much for being so prepared and ready to share with us. We appreciate it. All right, I know there's a few more of you on here that I definitely want to get to. Jackie, if you can unmute, your story is a little bit different. So Jackie was not only going for, Jackie Proctor was not only going for level 2, she was also working very hard to get back to paid as executive to join the Whiteout Party. So she contacted me midweek and shared a story with me. And I said, oh, Jackie, can you please share that with the team on the team call? Because I think it will help people, because most people go through this. So Jackie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So I share in a lot of what Lisa said. It was crazy because I had one of those last minute enrollments too. I actually ended up with 12 by the time it was all said and done. So it was insane, but don't discount your following on other social media platforms. So of course my kids just came in the house right now. But Instagram, I was getting DMs all over the place. So if you have an Instagram account, or if you are on LinkedIn or Twitter, use your other than Facebook, because granted, we have built our businesses around Facebook, most of us. And I've been here for 4.5 years, and that's where, 98% of my customers have come from. But I had my 10 by last Sunday. So I was like riding high, I got my 10, I'm doing great. Monday morning, first thing, I get a text from one of my new customers who had just gotten her products a few days before, and it's not, I can't even tell what body part it is, but it's covered in hives. And I looked at it and my heart just sank, because immediately I thought, well, there goes this incentive for me. And I said, of course, immediately I'm like, what happened? What is this? Could this be, I didn't even know. I've never seen anything like it in all my years here. I've never seen, heard anything. And she messaged me. She's at the emergency room. And of course, the doctor, she had started Isagenix like 24 hours previous. Now, she had done the shakes before for a while. and then just quit, and then she got an account and came back, and I'm like, what is this? What happened? Well, I broke out, and the doctor told me that I can't do Isagenix anymore, so I'm gonna have to return everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I sat there and I cried. Like, okay, I cried. And I'm like, okay, this is my business. I have to put on my big girl pants. And I'm thinking about, I'm doing the Transform You. So I'm in the middle of doing this. And I knew from the start that this was what I needed to really boost my business, because I was trying to get back to paid as executive. And I really, really, really wanted this incentive. And so I thought, okay, what would Cindy do? So, they tell you to think about your role models. And I thought about Cindy, and I thought, would Cindy be down in the dumps? And would she cry over this? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. So what I have to do is just look for the next, just keep going. And so that's what I decided to do. Is I'm not going to feed this anymore. I'll make sure she's okay. But I'm moving on, and I have to continue, through my business. And, fortunately I was able to get 2 more just this last week. Because I was told, you need to replace them. And then I realized, like, gosh, I'm almost an executive again. So, I called Val, and I'm like, Val, can you help me get in my back office and see what I need to do? So, I knew what I needed to do. I just needed that second person to kind of look over things. It always helps to have somebody to help. So she looked it over. She's like, this is totally doable. And I said, well, will it take away from, this incentive that I'm working toward? And she said, not at all. You're so close. So, I worked toward that, and gosh, I was able to make 2 consultants. Last week, I'm working on my 3rd one. Now I've got more of a cushion than what I have ever had the last time I was paid as executive. So it has just, and I'm like talking to people, for people, and helping, in 3-way messages, things like that. So I told Cindy today, I feel like I need a secretary. It's just insane. So like what Jay Bennett had said is, if you're focusing on 10, like you should focus on 10 every month. And imagine where your business would be if you focused on 10 every month, not just that 1 month. So I had that wall kicking moment. I cried and I got over it. So I hopefully is able to encourage you guys as well.
Yeah, and I love that. And why I wanted her to share is how many of us, raise your hand if you've had wall kicking moments like that. We've all gone through it, and she could have stayed stuck there. I don't know that you shared this. That one lady that had the rash was a pirate. So Jackie was not only counting on her for one of her 10, she was counting on her for her 10th consultant. So when she sent her products back, Jackie was like, oh no, I'm not going to have my 10 or my 10th consultant. And she turned it around so quickly. And kudos to you, because I've seen such growth in you. Such growth.
Thank you, Cindy. And I made 2. I didn't just make 1 to replace this girl with the hives. I made another one on top of it, and I'm working on another one.
And Lisa,
and another one on top of that too.
Lisa posted in the chat box to tell her to get a new doctor. I agree. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. All right. And there's a couple people I wanted to share that I don't think are on, so that might give us some more opportunity. But I'd like Anne, our featured scientist, to unmute. And Anne is another one. Totally motivated by incentives. When she goes for something, she usually tries to hit it early, so she's not stressing out last minute, but she will do whatever it takes to get it done. So Anne, I know you're over there. It's sunsetting is over there. Hi.
Hi, honey. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
And you could share kind of your mindset around getting this done again and again and again and always hitting these incentives. How do you do it?
To be honest, I totally checked out of this one. I wasn't planning on doing it. I just have a lot going on. You know, we can make excuses. Daughter's graduating, won't even go there. We're all busy. And being on your calls, Cindy, with people like Jay Bennett and Kathy Coover, Jay Bennett did it for me. I don't know if you see, I cry on those calls and I really listen, you know, and I'm 100% committed. So what Lori Olson said and Lisa, like consistency, right? And I am driven. This weekend I had an opportunity to go away with my daughter. So I didn't even know I was going to hit 5. So once I hit 5, I was done. And then after listening to Jay Bennett, I thought, no, I'm freaking going to hit 10. And I pulled out all the stops. I had 10 in the bag on Wednesday. 4 of them said no last minute. 4 people said no to me. And then I decided to get desperate and I made videos. I made videos asking for referrals. And I said, hey, Cindy, kind of what Lisa did. I said, hey, Cindy, this is Anne. And I made a video. And I said, I'm making a video because I feel comfortable asking you. You've been watching my journey on Facebook. You know, I know that this is perhaps not for you, but I also know that you respect me and you know that I'm committed to helping people with their best health. I'm looking for someone who would like to work with me to release weight, have weight wellness, health, you know, energy performance, healthy aging. It would be an honor, and I would really be grateful if you could double message us here on Facebook or in a text. And in addition, you know, I think health is priceless, but I can save them $60 if we do this by Friday. And I had 4 people fall out of the sky on Friday, literally out of the sky. And and 2 of them were from 5 years ago, like I think Lisa said, or Lori, about consistency. I will say that one of the things I always do, and then I'll end, is what Lori said, is really always consistently connect with people from a place of just love. Always be working and just loving on people. If someone pops in your heart, send them a message. I don't care if they ever do Isagenix. I want to work with people that choose me. I'm not chasing anybody. And I also, I love that I learned how to ask for referrals. I love what we do, guys. We should all be proud that we're here on this journey. It doesn't have to be for you, but you take the pressure off and then they think, what about me? So that's really what I did. And I am just driven by incentives. I don't know. I think it's the athlete, right? I think if you're an athlete, you like to set a goal for yourself. Don't ever compare to yourself to anyone, ever. I can compare myself to Cindy and Lisa and Lori. I'm blessed with where we all are on this journey together. Celebrate every cycle, every life you have that comes into you that you can better, and just know that that next person that you want, you can meet them tomorrow. So always open your mouth.
That's amazing. And I'm going to correct one thing you said. You said 4 fell out of the sky on Friday. Well, those of you that are listening, you know she was purposeful. She was asking for referrals. She has been consistent for 5.5 years, right? Or are you close to 6 now?
6.
And so they didn't fall out of the sky. The timing was right. Her hard work paid off. And often when we're working on incentives like this, it's not what you did this week that matters. It's what you did for the last 90 days that really matters. And that's where you're going to see your results. So for a great week and being able to finish up before she went on her trip, and she texted me as she was going out the door, I finished it just before I get to leave with my daughter. That was because she put a lot of work and effort in on the front side of that. So awesome job, Ann. Very, very proud of you.
I just don't want anybody to be in a comparison. You know, if you're sitting here, I know I used to live in that place, and it's really important that you respect where you are in this journey and be proud of what you're doing and know tomorrow is a new day. So just always focus forward, guys.
Yeah, great advice. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next up, Stephanie Mioni. She is also one of our executives. So a lot of these guys are executives, guys, which is really cool, and continuing to work and really help people and serve. So Stephanie, if you can unmute. I found out about you late in the game. So kind of like Jennifer, just hearing about her for the first time today, I found out about you late. So tell us, how did you pull it off?
Yeah, hi everyone. Oh my gosh, I feel so redundant in saying it, but just like Lori and Lisa and Ann, honestly, and the more I heard it over the past 5 years, it just seemed ridiculous to me, but consistency absolutely 100% did it for me, because I think I had 7 of the enrollments by June 6th, and 7 of the 11 that I enrolled this month have been watching me for 2 years. And I really, it's totally the follow-up. You know, as crazy as it sounds, I went into Facebook and my messages and went all the way back 2 years, saw how many messages I wrote back and forth to people, reached out to them again, let them know about, you know, the specials and the savings. And I'm really big on pace setters. I think maybe in the 2.5 years that I've been doing the business end, I've enrolled 1 30-day. They've always been pace setters, premium packs now, probably just because that's what I, you know, got started with. So for me, there's always, you know, free enrollment. So that's another good way around it, you know, looking at the $29 off and an additional $29, and then add the free shipping on top of it. So just, you know, sending them messages. And then again, I really told myself with my first enrollment, when I found out, you know, this incentive was coming up, I enrolled her on May 29th. So I was like super thrilled that I think it even started on May 28th. And I said, you know what, I'm going to hit this. And I think just being convicted in that and really telling myself I'm going to do it. Because, you know, like Ann said, if you're all into the incentives and wanting to hit things, then great, you know you're going to. And I'm not really very competitive. So I kind of look at it and say, well, yeah, it'd probably be nice, but I'm not going to. Well, for whatever reason, I told myself I'm going to do this. And, you know, before June 7th, when I had the 6 or 7, I said, there's no way that I can. How can I not, you know, shoot for this? So, and the other thing I want to say that's been really, really huge for me, in May, I kind of teamed up with Kathy Jacino, which is one of the leaders on my team. We started, you know, we were walking one day around the track and we said, hey, let's start an accountability group, you know, reach out to someone that'll do fitness videos, let's post some recipes. And May's group led into a group for June, you know, and now we're going into a group for July. And I know Danielle Bierstaller is on the call tonight. Thank you, Danielle. She's one of the admins. Beth Martin, Natalie Trisdale, Barry's on the phone too, and Diane. So there's, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, guys, but anyway, it's been so great to team up with them and get our prospects into this group, get our leaders into the group, our team members, because they see us posting constantly. They see us doing the bedtime belly buster, putting them in other groups, and we opened it to everybody, you know, whether you're loving your nutrition yet, even if you're not, just, you know, come in, see if you like it. And I think that's been a huge help for me, because they're seeing what we're all doing and they want to be a part of it. And I've gotten 2 of them from that group alone. So that's been huge. So guys, you know, grab some accountability partners, start up a group, even if it's on your own. People like to be in something where they see, you know, what's going on, where they could be part of a team with you guys.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been doing Facebook chat groups, and that's been super effective, getting a group of people and just chatting each day. So I know Gina Gillen told us about that on a mastermind call, and several people have used that and have had success with that too.
Yeah, so that's been huge. And then I was in the same position as I think a lot of you were on Sunday, and I had a barbecue on Saturday and Sunday, and I said to my husband, okay, I have 8 and I'm not going to hit this. I said, I have 2 left for today. How am I going to do this? I'm entertaining. And I said, you know what, Steph, you're going to do it. Just check your phone. Somebody's going to message you. And sure enough, somebody from 2 years ago, all she wrote in capital letters was, let's do this thing. And I said to Peter, oh my God, that's number 9. Like, you know, that's it. It's done. And then again at 5:30, another message that said, Steph, tell me a little bit about what you posted, some purple drink today. And I don't know if you guys saw it on HHP, but I just took a picture of mine and Peter's, you know, hydrate out in the backyard, because it's like 105 degrees here in Long Island this week, literally. And I got from that. And of course I said, well, that's the AMP Hydrate. And I talked to her about it, but I said, what are your goals? How can I help you? Let's talk about the system. And she said, we went over the product packs and what would work for her. And again, she enrolled. And then of course, my almost 17-year-old, who's totally looking at John and Tyler as mentors for her, said, Mom, that's it. I'm taking my own money. I'm helping you with this. I'm the 10th. Let's go for it. I'm doing this. And it's funny because she started driver's ed last week. And I look at my phone as she's getting out and I get a text. And it's this lady's phone number. And she goes, so Mom, this is my driver's ed teacher's name. She saw me with my cup today. I told her all about the shake. So she's going to call you. She needs to lose about 30 pounds. We went over her goals and everything that she needs to do. And yeah, so just give her a call, okay? So I said, you know what, let's get your account open so that we can, build your volume and get you going. So that was my plan.
That is fabulous. Well, tell her you told us that story, and I'm so proud of her. She's adorable.
I will.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, and Tara, I'm going to have you unmute and help us. I'm going to open it up to anyone else that wants to share after Tara. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. But Tara, how about helping us fill in the gaps? Anything additionally that you did in order to achieve this? Because you pretty much do this every time and time again.
I do think it's like everybody said, it is consistency. I also had people from probably when I first started 3.5 years ago that enrolled. It is the timing. It is the following up. It may or may not be, you think, everyone gets so excited. Oh, free shipping and free, membership. And that's great. But if it's not the right time for someone, it's not the right time for someone. And if they're not in their mindset, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could be saying, but here you can have like the whole world, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But I did a lot of messaging on Facebook Messenger. I sent a lot of texts out. I also asked for referrals if they, knew of anyone. You need to make sure that you've got some kind of notebook or something, because there's no way that you can keep all these people in your head. So you've got to just literally have a book, and I even kind of make, this is my, okay, so my July, I've already had on my to-do list. And I was actually laughing this morning. I'm thinking, these people would be laughing if they know they're on my to-do list. but you have to, ask for the referrals, but keep refreshing people. And, when you're doing something like this also, I think constantly, if you're new and you haven't done the whole Facebook thing yet, if you haven't really kind of jumped in with 2 feet. Now, granted, like Jackie said, and I want to even do more with Instagram as well and some other platforms. But, if you're posting once a day, it's not doing anything, because it depends when you post, when they look, how many people are on your feed, whatever it is. And it was like Lori had said as well that, it's not about, people are not necessarily, most of us do not put isogenics in the post. We just say nutritional program and everything. And the job is to create interest. But people don't, it's not like marketing a regular product. Like if you're out there in like regular sales, we're not saying here, this is not what we're selling. We're selling a lifestyle. We're selling health. And because it doesn't matter how much money you have if you don't have the health to go along with it. So we're selling a dream, whether it's physically or financially or whatever. But she said also people want to connect to you as a person, so they want you to have maybe some funny things, or have your kids, or, I'm always posting about my kids in college, or, whatever, that you're proud or something. And I think everyone should kind of ask themselves, as far as social media goes, on their Facebook page, I'm pretty confident the way people, when they look at my page, that they would say, she's a positive person, she's into wellness, she's in nutrition, whatever. So think about, what do people look at when they see your page? Or is it just a mishmash of a whole bunch of things? Is it not focused? Because if you want to build your business on Facebook, then it's not just willy-nilly. You have to focus on doing that. And there have been many times that I've thought, oh gosh, should I post this? It was something really raw and real. And I know Ann does a whole bunch of raw and real. And I'm like, oh, and I say, Susan, should I do this? She goes, just hit send. just post. And it's amazing, but those are the posts that I'm always shocked get so much interest because they're real people too, and they want to know that you're a real person, not just always, and I want to be positive, I do want to say the other thing that, if you're going to enroll, when you enroll 8 people in July, you're going to have asked many, 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 many more than that. They could be new people. They could be, from wherever, which also means you're going to get a lot of no's. And we have to definitely develop a thick skin and know that what we're doing is worth the sometimes bad mouthing or whatever, or what you might get from your family that's not joining, or maybe your best friend who blocked you on Facebook because she didn't want to see your posts. And I think one of my team members just couldn't believe that all of us have had pushback from our family as well. That it's not, you just have to work through it and be strong in your beliefs that what you're doing is worth it, not just for you, but for so many people out there. I mean, I think everyone who has helped at least one person have this amazing transformation, it's just mind-boggling how humbling and how wonderful that feels when they couldn't make a difference, with all, we've all tried a million things. And this is it. And that's what you have to just think, who can I help today? Who can I love on? Who can I share this with? And I will give you another tip. And my friend Angela is on the call here tonight. Angela was one of the ones who enrolled in June. And I'm so glad I met her. I moved into a new place. I have a gym here, but I did want to meet some new people. And I don't have a gym out, so I bought a Groupon. I enrolled in the ilovekickboxing.com. And so the place is right over here. And Angela was one of my first instructors, and I thought she was just bomb. And so she joined, in June. And now she's so pumped. She's already saying, I know she's on here, but she's like, I'm going to have at least 5 in July. So, and she's all about the wellness as well. And I do want to share, I know she could share this story, but this is really helpful, I think, for people. She did share, and she posted about this in a Camp Fit post. Angela was completely opposite. At one point in her life, she had an eating disorder and was down to 85 pounds. Okay. So this is about getting this, and she could share more of the story, but this is more about knowing that she's putting this solid nutrition into her body. So she can be super healthy. I mean, she's an awesome kickboxing instructor, and it really fills my heart to know that she believed in me, to know that this would be so good. And she's cleansing today and all excited and everything. So, that's what it's about, just meeting new people and adding them to Facebook, adding them to HHP, and just be open and sharing. And yes, wear your Isagenix gear. I mean, Angela said to me, I can't believe how much you have. I'm like, oh my gosh, do you even have a sports bra that has it on? And whatever, you have to have your stuff
everywhere. Yeah, and you guys are reading the comments too. I think it was Jackie said she got 2 enrollments holding a bottle of Cleanse. So absolutely. And I know Katie had something she wanted to share. We do have our Transform You call in just a couple minutes, but I can probably take 1 or 2 comments. Katie, I'd love for you to share.
So just one quick thing. I mean, something that people didn't mention is that we're a team for a reason. And so when these challenges come around, if I'm struggling, I'm in the last few days, being very deliberate with my posts, I reach out to my teammates on here, Maureen and Michelle and Brian and Tara, and I send them a message and say, hey guys, I'm really close. Can you go look at my post for today and comment on it? And so that keeps it coming back up. So really rely on each other to help each other advance and reach the people who need to be reached. So I would say teamwork is a huge part of this too. We're not out here doing it individually. We're all commenting on each other's and helping raise awareness of what it is that we're doing. And the last thing is, this is my Hail Mary. I don't like to do this very often. I think I've only done this maybe 3 times in 2.5 years, but my Hail Mary was putting up my own transformation. My original transformation from when I started, because clearly I'm going through transformation number 2. But, that was my Hail Mary, and that pushed 2 people over the edge in the last 24 hours of it, because the people on Facebook that I have on my Facebook, they know me and they trust me, and seeing is believing. So when they saw my transformation, I'm a real person to them. You know, all the transformations I post of other people that they don't know, that doesn't mean anything. But when I put my transformation up there, which isn't super drastic, if you look at it, it's not extreme, but it's enough for people to see a difference. And so those were the two tips that I would share.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
so glad.
can I share one more tip, Cindy? I'm sorry. As far as team goes, what Katie said, as far as team, to count on your team. If you are new on here and you haven't talked to a lot of people, you have some interest, but you're almost afraid because you don't know what to say to people, use your coach and do 3-way calls. Okay, so my new people, I just tell them, create interest and we'll get them on the phone. Okay, so you don't need to do this on your own, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, perfect. Because we are, that's what I love. We are a team and we are here to support. All right, guys, one more comment. Anyone else? I know Crystal's brand new on here. I don't know if she wants to unmute. Some of you
I will.
Oh, good. There you are.
Hi.
Hi.
So I've been with Isagenix since April. And when I started, I had zero intentions of really selling or promoting or even sharing. I was just like, this is something I want to do for me. I've sold 4 other MLMs. I was like, people are just going to be sick of me at this point. So I was like, I had no intention. So whatever I posted about it didn't really make me feel like I was doing it for any intentions other than myself. And I was being silly, right at the beginning when I started, I had posted me in a public restroom and was talking about how it felt to go in front of a mirror again and not feel disgusted. And it just started off by me saying, oh, I wish they had toilet paper, but hey, I like looking at myself in the mirror again. And it kind of just stemmed from there, and people started asking me. And I would just nonchalantly say, oh, drinking my pina colada on the deck today or whatever. And then I started taking note, wow, I'm getting handfuls of people asking me of what I'm doing. So anytime someone liked a photo or commented me, I jotted their name down, and then I would just keep their names in my mind in a book. And Parker, I don't know. I'm sorry. And just follow up with them and reach out to them and say, hey, I noticed you had interest in the post that I, made, and this is what I'm doing. Is there any goals that you're trying to reach? What sparked you about my post? And it's just been a snowball effect from there. I rolled 6 people in 1 week. And it was so funny because I was at my sip and sample with Sarah and Lindsay, and they were like, oh, I had 4 people. And this was mid-June. I had 4 people. And I said, there's no way. There's absolutely no way I'm going to get 10 people in 2 weeks. And I did. And it was just when I said I wasn't going to do it and I wasn't going to promote or anything, I saw my pictures and posted them, and I'm like, this is real. I'm not even exercising, and I feel so much better in so many areas. So it's how can I not share this, and how can I not help other people feel this way? Yeah. So it's just been just a snowball effect of one post leading to all of this.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations. That is so huge. And you guys, she's local to me, and I've never even met her yet. So excited to meet you. And guys,
I know, I'm excited.
I'm so grateful to all of you for sharing your tips. What I'm going to ask of you is, when I post this video, those of you that had some scripting, there was all kinds of comments about could you please share your scripting. So for those of you that shared, Lisa, Ann, I know there was a couple of you, if you guys would comment with your scripts below, I would really appreciate that when I post the video. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I know this call was a little long, but I wanted to give you great tips so that those of you really working towards the July incentive were well armed and equipped and ready to go, and hopefully very motivated to make this happen, and knowing that whether you're brand new or whether you've been here since the beginning, you can do this. So we believe in you, and we are a team that wants to support you and love you through this. So can't wait to celebrate all of you in August at Celebration. So have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much. Feel free